Arg. Hello, curiosities and curios and joy hunters and kindred and all the many names I call you because you're amazing and lovely and brilliant. It is April 23rd, and apart from being Shakespeare's birthday and death day, weird trivia there.
You know, it saves space on the tombstone.
Oh,
it does. It's pragmatic.
April 23rd, 15th to 16th, because I'm great with dates, but I'm good with this one.
I was about to say, you are good at dates.
April 23rd is also our 1 year anniversary of officially dating, and actually our 2 year anniversary of meeting.
Yes.
Because the 23rd is
also very concise, just like Shakespeare.
Real special. March 23rd. That was the first day we kissed.
Yes,
no,
well, the second day.
Oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. But that was the first time we, actually kissed. But I've had quite a few of you ask how we met and all that, and I decided, you remember that couple tag that was going around, a few years ago? I'm being really dated right now, I guess, by doing this. Why don't we do that? And then I looked at the questions, and I hated, half of them. And so I went and looked for more and compiled a much better 20-question list. It wasn't just let me quiz you about your partner, because I don't know. So I figured we'd do that, and there is a how you met question, so we'll get to talk about that and tell that story. And so obviously because I compiled them, I saw all the questions, and then I sent them to Angelique because it didn't really seem fair to just spring them on you, considering I had the time to put them all together.
True, very considerate. But I read them a month ago, so I don't really remember. I remember one. What? I wanted this to be organic. Did you write down your answers?
No. Yes. No.
I did? No. I didn't know we could write them down.
We did. They're just questions. I will be posting these if for some reason you want to do a video similar to this. If you are also rather dissatisfied with the couples tag that as it was first presented, I will give you these questions in the description below because I'm a giver.
Do the couples tag. Love. Love
is love and love and celebrate everyone not being dicks to each other.
Yeah, even if you just met someone or you feel embrace who you love, friend, lover, anything. Just love is one of the best things ever. So
it's true. And
don't
as I've discussed many times before, the English language is really shitty in regards to describing love because there are so many different facets. So whether it is platonic, agape, romantic, what have you, love. How did you meet?
How did we meet? I'm gonna let her tell the story.
You're gonna let me tell the story?
Yeah.
So, I don't really know much of your portion of this. I know my portion of this, which actually, unbeknownst to you, dear curios, you were kind of there, but not really. So back in 2017, I went to the Renaissance Fair for the first time not the first time ever, but the first time in Southern California. The Irwindale Renaissance Fair. It's actually the very first Renaissance Fair
I can go on at length about this. I was a volunteer for almost 5 years there.
When was it?
Oh, it was started in the late 60s. It really picked up steam in the 70s, and it was part of the whole folk movement and the hippie movement.
And everyone who works there, who is old and disgruntled, that say back in the 70s when Fair was perfect. Fair wasn't perfect. You were on drugs and young. You still had your whole life ahead of you, and the economy was very different, so it was fine, and so young people could still be part of the Renaissance Fair. So don't give me back in the 70s when Fair was perfect. Granted, a lot of things have changed for the worse, but it's mostly because you're young and on drugs.
Getting on it. Point is that you have Renaissance fairs throughout the country and throughout the world, I believe.
Starting. Mostly historical reenactments. It's very, from what I found, particular to America, of the Renaissance Fair.
Fair.
But that was the first. And it was started as a college project, but I'm getting on my research rabbit hole, and that's not why you're here.
So, 2017, April, it was my birthday weekend. I had just turned 30.
Because Alan did that amazing thing and everyone came in town.
It was great. So I just turned 30. It was lovely. And I was like, I've never been to the Ren Fair. Let's go. I went as De La Shelf. My interpretation of a Dalish elf. And as you know, it was about 6 months after my not so great situation. I was starting to come a little bit out of my shell, kind of acknowledging that I may have some PTSD about this horrible thing. Em and Alan went with me, and I feel bad. I don't remember too much about this day other than really meeting Angelique. I remember Em bought some cool garb. Mm-hmm. I remember Alan and I discovered whiskey fudge, which was delicious. Something you need to know about my friend Alan Kistler is one of those people who seems to know at least somebody somewhere.
Somebody everywhere.
Yes. And so he'd been like, oh, my friend's working today. I'm like, oh, fucking course they are. So I decided to let Alan go off, and like he walked off in this general sort of the same direction as me, and I saw a bunch of people kind of hovering about nearby, and I was like, well, I'm gonna make some friends. I don't really know what possessed me to walk up to this group of people, but I am now friends with all of them, and they're all amazing and lovely. They are also Angelique's friends. And I don't remember what they were talking about, but my now friend Nicole, beautiful, sweet, lovely Nicole, had been to the oubliette. I don't know how many times that day, but you really only need to go once.
Okay, you mom.
Especially if you're a bit of a lightweight. Like me! The oubliette is... There's no hard liquor at Ren Fair, this Ren Fair anyway. Mm-hmm. But the closest thing you can get is sort of mixed drinks of ciders, ports, champagnes, beautiful at the oubliette. And it's great, and they'll like hold down the drink and then they'll pour while you sip, because you're trying to chug along while they continue to pour so you don't spill anything. But to prevent, the fact that they don't want you to drink all their booze if you're really good at chugging, they will say the dirtiest freaking stuff to you while you're doing that, like suck it down real good, to make you laugh.
Girl you are.
To make you laugh, and so it goes up your nose and it's funny and everyone gets to have a good laugh. Point being, Nicole had been to the oubliette, so Nicole, bless her heart, was trashed.
She was slightly schnockered. Slightly,
Nicole was trashed.
We love you, Nicole.
And I love her. But I now know that Nicole is a bit more reserved, like warm, like one of the kindest people you will ever meet. But is not the sort of person who would make the announcement that she made in this circle without copious amounts of alcohol, which was, I'm going to kiss everyone. And it was like, all right, I've just met you. I've maybe said 3 or 4 words to you so far in this circle of people, but fine. I did consent. She had consent from people. Her husband just had this big goofy grin on his face because he's Michael, and he was just like, oh, sweetheart, you are very drunk.
Oh, and he just loves that.
Oh no, it was very much enjoyed. I love them. They're so cute together, you guys. And I remember feeling kind of like slightly off balance because they were rather chaste pecs, but with force. And I just remember going, oh, okay. And as I was composing myself, the crowd kind of parted. And in walks this sort of like straight from my teenage fantasies when my type is still Haruka. I don't know what I'm talking about. In pirate gear, like pirate hat down, slightly looking very suave, locks eyes with me and says, while just like stepping right up to me in this very sultry voice, may I also kiss the Fae? And I think my heart went, oh no. And I stumbled out some sort of, yeah, okay. Thinking in the back of my mind it was going to be very similar to what had just happened. This woman, this freaking suave motherfucker, dips me and plants the first kisses are never supposed to be like this, and I know that it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but they were fireworks, and then something inside me went, oh no, run. Because I kid you not, I knew in that moment, like I was not in love with you, but I knew I was going to be. Like, without a doubt. It was terrifying. In the same way that in panic attacks, when you, like, they talk about, oh, you think you're gonna die. No. When you have a legitimate panic attack, you know you're gonna die. Like, it's a weird, terrifying knowledge. And if there was ever a good version of that, like, I knew I was going to be in love with this woman at some point, and it terrified the shit out of me. So I proceeded to avoid her for 6 months.
This is true. I was inviting her out.
Because, you know, we became Facebook friends, and she was like, oh, come hang out. And I was like, no. Especially because I was convinced that, you know, you were just being nice and suave. And because Ren Fair, like, it is so easy to get a snog at Ren Fair, to be honest, without trying. Mm-hmm. It's just the kind of place it is. So in my head, I was like, she seems nice. Not even comprehending, like, maybe she also feels something towards you. But that's my side. Would you like to add to that in any way?
Oh, I too was quite Twitter-pated. Alright, so this is the thing. I know she was dressed as a Dalish elf. I understand this. Dragon Age is my favorite video game series of all time.
And the whole Vaseline.
Yeah, I could tell she was a Dalish elf. It's one of the things I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a Dalish elf. I had to go up to her, and then it was this thing. And I don't know, just the way your hair was and your eyes were just like glowing gold. And just, luckily I was able to pass off suave fairly well. But
did you not feel very suave in that moment? Because you came off real suave.
I said Fae instead of elf. Fae just came out automatically, even though I'm like, she's a Dalish elf. I totally screwed that up. She's gonna think I don't know Dragon Age at all. Or that's like,
you
no,
could see
swear.
through my glamour. She cannot live. It's the real reason I ran away. It's like, oh shit.
I love it when she tells that story, because every time she gets to call me a swap motherfucker, and it just like,
I mean, who, like,
just stroke
that's
the
not
ego.
a way
Stroke the
people
ego.
meet
Stroke,
people.
that's
That's not a way.
Stroke the ego.
I don't know why you're rubbing your shoulder. Your ego's up here.
I don't know.
But that's not a way people meet. And I was terrified of her for a while until I realized almost, I want to say 9 months, and I finally got to like start hanging out with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Ellen again.
I realized that, oh no, you're just as neurotic and crazy as I am, so this might be okay. Where was your first date?
We're counting the real first date, the 23rd first date?
I mean, I'm right? We're talking about the last bookstore, I assumed. Mm-hmm. Which I was not actually sure if it was a date when we first set it up.
True.
Because we were again being awkward and like, oh, I really like you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you like me back or if you just see me as a friend. And then I showed up to the last bookstore, which if you've never been, is amazing. And she had a bouquet of white lilies, and I was like, I think this is a date. And then we went and we each bought each other, we walked around, took pictures, we're real dorky, and then we capped that part of it off with buying books for each other that were important to us as children.
I got her the Chronicles of Narnia because that was my favorite book series growing up. You know, Chronicles of Narnia, still my favorite book series, especially Magician's Nephew and Horse and His Boy.
And I got her a copy of the first book in the Alana series. So I was like, yeah, Lady Knights, I'm all about this. And I knew that even as a kid. And then it was like, oh, hi, I have met one.
Oh, Lady Knights as in like Knights in Shining Armor.
Yes.
Okay. Lady Knights are also fun.
I mean, yeah, those are ladies' knights. I mean, lady knights, like knights who are also ladies.
And then I, just as suavely as before, completely, you know, composed and put together and badass, asked her officially. I asked you, would you like to go on a date? Even though we consider that a date.
That is our first, like...
Yeah, the 23rd, the April 23rd is our first date, but that is when I so suavely asked... She suavely...
She scuffed her foot! It was so cute! She was like looking down and went, would you maybe, I don't know, want to go on a date? And I'm like, oh my god, I will marry this woman.
I was nervous because I was coming out of a bad situation and I didn't want you to feel like you were gonna have to take care of something. Like I just got diagnosed with PTSD. I knew I wasn't at my best, but the way I felt for her, I had never felt anything like it ever. I didn't know I could feel that. And I just couldn't stop thinking about you, and just, it felt right anytime we were together. And I really, really wanted to see you, and I didn't want you to think that you were anything less than everything you deserve to be.
What was your first impression of each other? Well, we've sort of
we
talked
sort of
about
covered
this. I thought you were so much like more put together. Like I was convinced you were like, no, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just thought that this was like literally a perfect human being. And if I even let her know I had one flaw, I was never going to be able to keep up with that, and I was just going to always feel like this sludge creature. Thankfully, I was wrong. Oh, you're a dork. Great.
Let's say I'm a dork. My impression of her is that I didn't know how someone this perfect could exist, because she's funny, musical. She loved Dragon Age. She loved just talking in depth about story. She had a passion in her eyes, and it was just like you know when you see gold like being melted down and how it glows? That was her eyes. Those were her eyes. It was just, and I was like, she can't be real. Like, and I was under the impression from friends like, oh, she's not interested in anything, you know. That's why I'm like, totally get it, but she was and is perfect to me.
Stop trying to win this. You can't win it! Does your partner have any weird obsessions?
Just look at our YouTube channel.
Rude.
What? They're not weird. I love them.
I don't know if it's an obsession, but Angelique has two things that come to mind when I think weird obsession, which are not really weird obsession. The first is she cannot stand for you to leave any meat on your wings. Even if it's the meat that like nobody eats. She will clean that bone off for you.
Yes.
And
I
the
apologize
second
for nothing.
is a potentially unhealthy devotion to men's fashion to the point where she
Not
has
men's fashion, gentlemen's fashion.
Gentleman's fashion, to the point where she has definitely scolded a complete stranger about how he was wearing, incorrectly admittedly, his cravat, and showing him how to tie it correctly, I believe.
Yes. And almost leaping across several tables to get to someone who's like, I'm gonna unbutton my top button on my shirt at a very high.
It was the Magic Castle.
There was a
pretty strict dress code. Like I had to borrow a purse because my normal purse is, I mean, it's got canvas, which is fair. I completely concede that, but I have never once thought about my purse being part of my ensemble, which I guess tells you a little bit about my fashion or lack thereof.
They're not obsessions. You just get super passionate and curious about things, and you just want to delve into a rabbit hole. I love it. Ooh, tiny food.
I love tiny food!
And poppers.
Oh, that's not weird. Poppers are the
It's not weird. But when you actively encourage, crime for your love of poppers.
It's not my fault that you don't want to steal a dog from me.
I
It's
would,
not my
but
fault
you
that
don't want
love
a
me
dog.
enough.
We can't take care of it. You said that.
I know.
You even said, "Oh, we can't have a dog," and then you always tell me to steal a dog. Why don't we just adopt one or rescue one? But no, you always want to steal one, even though we can't take care of it.
I know.
She knows, and yet next time we pass a pupper, she's going to stay.
I will, because it's funny. Also, you and the American Revolution. I'm not sure it's not okay. I'm not gonna get it started right now. But if you want to hear her just rant, that's a thing. But we don't have time for that. So next question. What traditions do you have as a couple?
Pickles.
We have a few.
We have a lot.
We try to do something every month on the 23rd or around the 23rd to sort of celebrate, just to sort of set aside a date night, but we try to make it specifically around the 23rd to be no, it's a thing. Just because that day's been always real special. When we go to Starbucks, we'll usually get a birthday cake pop, then we'll share bite. It's weird. I can't eat them alone now. It's not a lot of cake, and yet for some reason it feels like it's too much.
It's the perfect amount when you share.
It is. I don't like pickles. Angelique loves pickles. I will order things specifically with the pickles on them if she's with me, sometimes even if she's not, just so I can take the pickles off and give them to her. Oh, and every time I burp, I have to say a plague upon these pickled herrings so that she may then kiss my cheek, like so. It's a long story. Maybe we'll get into it at some point.
Also has to do with Shakespeare.
It does. Plague upon these pickled herrings is from Twelfth Night. I think that's all the traditions.
We have a couple.
We have probably a few more, but those are the ones that come to mind.
One I really like is if we're going to anything costume related, on the drive there, we'll kind of figure out what our characters are for that.
Oh yeah, no, that's a thing.
Like going to the steampunk thing, like, so who are we? How are we going to interact?
It's a little ridiculous that it took us so long to get into LARP because both of us love playing characters so much. Even if we're literally only pretending just us at an event that has nothing to do with anything else. What was the first thing you noticed about each other? I definitely noticed your eyes first.
I noticed your eyes first. Well, okay, to be honest, I noticed the
Vaseline.
The Vaseline.
Como Ribby is what it reminds me of. Sunlight filtering through the trees. The active interplay between life and light. What do you argue about the most? We don't really argue.
We do.
Okay, we argue about which is better, creamy or crunchy peanut butter, and I'm right, and that's not an argument. No, creamy peanut butter. Why? It's not complete yet if there's still nuts in it. You haven't even tried crunchy, I don't so therefore your argument is invalid. It's like, invalid? I don't invalid. I don't want, it's invalid. I don't need to try arsenic to know that I'm not going to like it.
I'm going to put something with crunchy peanut butter on it, and then I'm going to tell you after. But other than that, it's literally like, hey, baby, can you pick this up or can you not do that? And it's like, yeah. And that's usually the end of it.
We're actually really good at communication.
We run into problems like everybody does, but it's never usually like an argument. It's more like, hey, you got stressed at this moment and you got snapped and that rubbed me the wrong way. And it's like, oh, okay, well, how can we work together to make that a better scenario? But we don't really have arguments. Yeah. Except for that peanut butter, which I'm right. Who wears the pants in the relationship?
Neither. Both.
Yeah, we both kind of wear it. Because that's what a partnership is. I'm the only one who wears skirts in the relationship. No, you wear a kilt from time to time. Mm-hmm. Does that count? Okay. So
it doesn't. Like, kilts are not skirts.
Kilts are not skirts. They are pleated entirely differently.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing wrong with wearing skirts.
And you've seen me in a dress, not in person. But
yeah, but that's not really like a thing you do voluntarily very often.
But I can. I feel very pretty doing it.
You are very pretty. If you're feeling sad or under the weather, what does your partner do to make you feel better? You make me tea. And just literally the other day, I was having a terrible migraine. Angelique got me a cold compress for my head. She tucked blankets around me. She made me tea. You didn't put on The Office, but you have in the past put on The Office. And Angelique is not a fan of The Office, but she knows it's my palate cleanser. I don't know, that it makes me feel happy. And she snuggled with me while we watched it.
She sings to me. One morning, actually, I think one morning this past week, I was just feeling really crappy about where I was career-wise, where I was life-wise, and just didn't feel great. And she just came up with a song to the tune of the Ariel's I Want song.
Oh, and Part of Your World.
Part of Your World. But she changed all the lyrics for me.
I was really impressed actually with how well that came out, I'm not gonna lie.
She's like, look at this face.
Isn't it great?
No, you said, look at this face, isn't it pretty?
Oh, isn't it pretty? Don't you think it deserves a little ditty? I don't remember the rest of what I made up back then. I should write them down.
She went several.
I did. I went a verse and a chorus, definitely.
At least. So, and it just,
An item catches your eye while you're out that reminds you of your partner. What is it? Cufflinks. Cufflinks, ties, vests, Ooh, anything, like top hats, definitely. Anything really that seems like it should be in like a time travel, like a steampunk time traveler's closet, instantly makes me think of you. Anything steampunk in general, and barn owls.
Wigs. Actually, it's not certain things. It's things that have a feeling or energy about them that reminds me of you. Like, not all rainbow things remind me, but certain ones. Like if it's a stone that has like a rainbow sheen on it, or like very specific things. Also a lot of star stuff.
Oh, and moons. Moons remind me of you. Well, you're not actually wearing it right now.
I haven't worn it for a while.
She normally has a choker that's got the triple goddess moon symbol on it, so.
Made of bone.
And it is. It's very certain, like, it's not all things with a moon on it. Like, if it's got a moon on it, I'm not like, that's Angelique. It's gotta have that certain feel and look. But she did on her walk during her lunch break a few weeks ago, brought me back a beautiful rainbow wind chime that seems very fey. We've got it on our altar. I like it. What's your partner's go-to drink order?
Chai tea latte with soy milk. If it's iced, very light ice. Oh my god, there's another thing to it. I'm blanking, isn't there?
Did you say soy?
Yeah, I said soy.
No water. No, that's it.
Soy, no water, but usually they're doing no waters these days anyway.
Yeah, and yours is basically the same, but with non-fat milk and sometimes an ad shot if you're feeling real tired. But I actually took this to mean like boozy drinks, and to which I think you used to be very, very standard with a whiskey ginger.
Whiskey ginger used to be my go-to. Maybe eventually again. Whiskey's kind of been bumming me out a little lately, so I am going more towards clear alcohols like either white rums, vodkas. I don't want to try gin again because gin gave me my first hangover ever, and ever since then it's given me consistent headaches, but I'm trying different things out, and I love rum. Oh, I love it too.
I'm not getting jealous of rum.
Moscow Mule, but not ginger beer.
No, ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Mule. Right?
Yes. What would your partner eat every day if they could? Pickles.
Spicy tuna on rice cake from sushi.
What song reminds you of your partner? I have a few, but hands down, I think the first one will always be As the World Falls Down.
I love you.
I love you. Also, Anything for You by Ludo. Reasons by Beth Crowley. Are you cheating?
We have an entire playlist.
We do.
Okay, with this one, pretty much any song reminds me of her. Just music, and it's beautiful. I can't pick one. You had 3.
Okay, pick 3.
All right. No Harm Tonight, because it's the first song that you ever sang to me. 1,000 Years by Miss Perry.
Christina Perry.
Christina Perry? Okay. I always think Katy Perry. I'm like, that's not right.
Different Perry.
And there's so many. There's so many.
Ooh, what's that steam-powered giraffe song? Don't think there's a name for it, but I kinda like being alone.
Don't have a name for it.
That one.
Also, there's a song which is amusing. She knows the band. She sang with the band once. We Are Who We Are.
Yeah, We Are Who We Are. And
by Vixie and Tony. Vixie and Tony.
And then there's like The Wanderer's Lullaby or something.
Wanderer's Lullaby is perfect for her. There's so many songs that remind me of her.
What can your partner spend hours doing? Writing.
Makeup. In a good way. She is an artist. Hair, makeup, costumes, like getting into character, figuring out who this person is that she's embodying. It's magical to watch. Also singing, listening to music, interacting with you guys because you're amazing on streams.
Also probably watching movies. This woman is like, ooh, it's not a weird obsession, but I thought of one of the things I thought about. When we watch movies at home, she will make me stop the DVD to see where we are in the film to be like, structurally, because she's so good with film structure, she'll go, I knew we were at the 30-minute mark because we're at this point in the movie, so we should be going down to, it's really funny. It doesn't actually bother me. I say make me stop it, but it's something I find to be endearing.
I really like story structure.
If you could live anywhere together, where would you want it to be?
Here, doing what we love, telling stories.
I think if I was living anywhere else, I'd want it to be London, but that would be under the assumption that we had been so successful we can live pretty much anywhere and still do what we love.
London, England, Scotland. I loved Edinburgh.
I've never been. I'd like to go.
Take the train up there.
Your favorite outfit your partner wears?
There are like 3 top ones for me. Number 1, because even though I adore your space boots, and your space boots are in pretty much all the other ones, number 1 has got to be your outfit that you wore at Pride.
Okay.
Your Hufflepuff gear, anything Hufflepuff, and kind of your Echo stuff where you're wearing like your space boots and like star stuff. You're like a cosmic witch, and I love it.
I think my favorite is, it's almost actually what you're wearing right now. I actually like the other pinstripey vest a little better, but that with the rolled up sleeves and the boots and and the bowler hat. I love the bowler hat. The bowler hat is so quintessentially you. It just makes me happy. Pet names for each other. Other than the usual like baby, sweetheart, beloved, which I don't think is actually a normal pet name for most people, but I consider that to be one because you are from another time. Sometimes call you Moonbeam. And then Angel, I think, is the most.
No one's ever called me Angel before. My name is Angelique, or Angelique. And you actually say it correctly, and I'm so happy about that. But
Angelique.
I've always wanted someone to call me Angel. Stardust, my star, my life,
My light.
my joy.
My everything. Stop distracting me. We're on a budget. Time budget. Who is the big spoon? We switch, but we don't actually usually do spoons.
We ampersand.
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm gonna try and show you what this looks like. So if I was on my back, it would be like this, but I would be all the way back. And baby, sweetheart, baby. But no joke, this is usually how we sleep. But if I was like all the way back, and then the few times that we do actually like spoon, we will switch back and forth because it's good to feel loved and also to be that
this is much
supporting.
better. Why weren't we saying this?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a failure.
We were so separate.
What is something your partner does that you wish they didn't? I wish you weren't so hard on yourself.
Oh, that was mine for you too.
Like, especially when it comes to like physical stuff. Like I think, I mean, we both struggle with body dysmorphia, definitely, and I wish you didn't have that struggle so much.
I wish you didn't have that struggle. Thinking that you don't know if the path you're on, like if it's worth anything, and it's just, of course it is, and I never want you to have to doubt that.
What is your favorite thing your partner does that tells you they love you? I always want you to choose one, and I'm like, I can't. You are such a caretaker when it comes to me. Like, you make sure I've eaten. You always make sure I've taken my Lactaid before I take that first bite of something dangerous. And it's so mundane, but I think honestly, it's as much as I love the big romantic gestures, and they are very much you, I think some of my favorite things are just when you notice like the little things of just, oh, hey, did you take your Lactaid? Because sometimes I will forget and I'll go, oh, no, thank you.
I did tell her at one time, hey baby, I got you a really sexy present, and it's on the bed.
It was Lactaid.
It was Lactaid. Means you get to have cheese.
I know.
Cheese. Singing to me, never getting tired of me, never, always wanting to play, and never thinking that my concerns or anything I'm having a hard time with is stupid or bad or I'm wrong for thinking them. You always listen to me. You're always so understanding.
I really like our communication.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like that open, honest communication, I've never really had that level of just, here's where I'm at, here's what I'm feeling right now. I know that it might not necessarily be a logical feeling, but it's what I'm feeling, and we've never had the problem of like emotion shaming,
Yeah.
and I'm really appreciative of that.
The first time with this one, like I was saying, I was getting a bad toxic situation when we were first hanging out as friends a lot, and she sang that song, Nothing Will Harm Me Tonight, and she sent it to me because I was having trouble sleeping because of PTSD sucks. And I was getting terrible nightmares, and you just did that, and I didn't even ask for it, and you're just, it's just wonderful that Words!
We're both writers, can you tell?
No.
Thank you so much for watching. That is our couples tag. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We actually had a trip, which I'll be posting videos later, to Seattle, which was not about our 1-year anniversary, but I got to take a day off from the convention and show her around Seattle. So those will be coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and love each other. Good fortune to you, Joy Hunters, and of course, above all things, stay curious.
Age. Too old for it. Makes you old. Just buy it. If it brings you joy, have it in your life. Don't understand why you wouldn't. Ooh, there's an evil laugh going over there.
Done right.
You're gonna edit that so it just ends on your note. This isn't fair.
We're running out of time.
She's gonna get the last word just because she does the editing.